Greetings and welcome to the channel. So I have a lot that I want to get off my chest, like breast reduction when it comes to Tekken 8. And it's largely surrounding the Armor King situation. There's so much I want to get into. I really don't expect many people to even watch this video. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not just saying that just to say it, because it's going to be me yapping about how bullshit this game is. So if that's of interest to you, then do stay tuned. But I will give viable reasoning as well. So I don't expect this video to go over well with those that are shilling and defending Tekken 8. I will get into showing some things from Twitter as well. But first, let me just get this out of the way. If you are expecting Tekken 8 to improve in Season 3, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm just going to say, just save yourself some time. It's not going to get better. I highly, highly doubt it. And I'm going to tell you why. Many people in the Tekken community, and just gaming in general, and I've said this repeatedly, most people who pick up a controller or a joystick, they just know how to mash buttons. I'm sorry, it's not a knock. Many of you don't understand basic level of business. Tekken 8, for all intents and purposes, is currently making money. It is sitting good. The game is doing what it is meant to do. It is bringing money. So, are the developers going to make meaningful changes? See, that's the key term. Are they going to make meaningful changes? See, I want to remind people what happened with Season 2 at the very beginning. And we saw a lot of characters that should be nerfed receive slaps on the wrist, such as King, Yoshimitsu. I can go on and on. We all know who they are, the usual suspects. But even before that, there was a patch that I actually made a video on where it was basically around Clive, actually. I don't even think many people remember this. What they decided to do with Clive before Season 2, and all they did was give him a slap on the wrist. It had to do with his forward 1+2 move. I think it's called Prominence or some shit like that. They gave it a slap on the wrist. Okay. Then comes Season 2. They were saying how they were going to buff sidesteps. They were going to give more defensives, yada, yada, yada. We all know, right? That turned out to be a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of lies. Okay. How much longer or how much more does it take for you that is within the Tekken community to understand and accept that this game, Tekken 8, is not going to get better? Let me put it to this. Let me put it to in a different way. Let's talk about more recent news, right? Because I follow other things besides just Tekken, right? Let's look at Call of Duty and Battlefield 6, their battle that's going on. Call of Duty, most of the first-person shooter community hates it, right? Because of varying reasons, because of the skill-based matchmaking. But it took a completely different game in Battlefield 6 to do well, and the unified voice of the Call of Duty community to shout from the rooftops to get the developers to make a meaningful choice in removing their skill-based matchmaking. That is the level of effort that is going to be required by you being part of the Tekken community. If you, yes, you watching, whoever you are out there, want to see meaningful change come to Tekken 8. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the only thing the developers are going to do from season to season and patch to patch, they're going to address the bugs, right? As you players find more exploitable bugs, glitches, they're going to stomp out the bugs. That's just the facts, because the bugs will affect the casuals as well, which is the very market that the devs of Namco want to continue catering to, which is actually, if you really want to come down to it, this is exactly why Tekken 8 is designed the way it is. I've said it many times. Tekken 8, it is not designed for players like myself that have been a true OG for 30 fucking years and have actually competed out of my home state of New York from Tekken 5 right on through every single Tekken until I would say maybe the first or second, maybe the third year of Tekken 7. Whenever it was. I stopped competing September. No, it was the summer of 2017 I stopped competing. So everything before that, at the start of Tekken 5, I was an active Tekken 8 Tekken competitor. Now looking at how things have progressed with Tekken 8, this game, as I have been saying from round one fight, is dog shit. It's dog shit. It's riddled with some of the worst character balancing I've seen, period. It has absolute bullshit and horrendous game mechanics that the Tekken franchise never needed. Never needed. Heat. You don't need it. Was that the best that the developers could come up with for a brand new game? Because, if you were to start a fight and both combatants were to agree to burn their heat, do their heat smash, do the heat dash, and then fight, now you have Tekken. What you have with the heat mechanic and the rage system as it is, you have a gimmicky fighter that is disguised as a serious competitive fighting game, but in reality, it's a fucking party game. It's a party game. And I can guarantee you, with very, very significant assurances, that this game is not going to change. Let me give you something. Let me give you additional perspectives here. You remember when they altered the heat, right? Where I think, what was it, plus 17? It was either plus 14 or plus 17 when you land a heat engager. Now I believe it's like plus 9. And that character Jack 8 with the bring the noise, a jumping bullshit punch that he had. Basically every single thing, ranging from what was it? Grabs that gave chip damage if you broke them. Do you remember that? Do you guys honestly think that were it not for the small yet vocal hardcore community within Tekken, do you think if you guys did not bitch and complain the way you guys did, do you think Namco would have taken any of those things out? The answer is no. This game, as it was designed, this is not by accident. This is what the developers wanted. This is the game. This is where when I take to Twitter or X and I respond to some of you guys' Twitters and I will say, this is Harada or this is Nakatsu's vision. I don't mean to be funny. That's the truth. This guy, Nakatsu, whatever his real name was, I can't think of it right now. It's not important. This is a guy that was a key figure on the Soul Calibur team. Remember that game, Soul Calibur? I remember it. I remember Soul Calibur 1 and 2 being fucking legend. Still is. I would still play those games now. But then shit went down south with Soul Calibur 3, Soul Calibur 4, 5. When I learned that this Nakatsu fellow was working on, or basically the game director of Tekken 8, I was like, okay, a lot of this is starting to make sense because this whole heat mechanic, it reminds me of a mechanic that was very much similar, if not the same, in the very last Soul Calibur game. The very last Soul Calibur game. I remember it was a game I don't even, if it was Soul Calibur 6 or 5, it was so bad that game has been largely removed from my memory. It was absolute trash. It was shit. It was a shit game. It had so much gimmicks and hokey mechanical bullshit in that game that am I that surprised to see similar asinine mechanics implemented into Tekken 8? And it just so happens that the guy that worked on Soul Calibur in the capacity he worked in is working on Tekken 8. Or has worked on. And then I later found out that he was also part of Tekken 7, which I actually did not know. So Harada has become the face of the game, of the franchise. He's not even really that significantly involved as he used to be. This is Nakatsu's baby. This is Nakatsu's vision, as I say. So when you look at what it takes to make change in a long-time franchise, you need only look at the Call of Duty community. Because I understand many of you that follow me, that subscribe to me, many of you came from my prior YouTube videos on Tekken 8, me bitching, complaining. It's entertaining for you guys, and I appreciate it, but this is real shit. When I look at other communities, because I'm a real gamer, I don't just only play Tekken, I look at other things. And when I looked at what was going on with Call of Duty and I saw what it took for a mechanic, a gimmick that has been in the Call of Duty franchise since 2019, and the vast majority of people can't stand it, but yet and still game after game, they keep pushing it. It finally took the combination of the community finally rising and their main competitor basically whipping up on them, which is Battlefield 6. Now, it's going to take something like that to happen again. It's going to take you guys in the community to rise up, like really rise up. And it's going to take Virtua Fighter 6 to be the Battlefield 6 of Call of Duty. Like Virtua Fighter 6, or should I say, yeah, I guess Battlefield 6 is going to have to be the Virtua Fighter 6 for the fighting game aspect. That's what it's going to take. Because I can tell you right now, as I said from the very beginning of this video, Namco, the developers, they are making money off of this game. They have decided to go full casual. Now, of course, this does not mean, because I know there's going to be some idiots in the comment section that's probably going to say, well, you know, Arslan Ash plays it and it's highly competitive. Look, we get it. There's competitive level, there's high levels of skill and gameplay for every fucking fighting game. We know this. But let's just stop the bullshit. Tekken 8 is scrub friendly. Tekken 8 has been stripped and gutted of the vast majority of its identity. I don't even need to debate this. This is clear as fucking day. And I get why they did it. It was for money. Period. It really is that simple. And they have accomplished this. And the ones that are raging and are upset are those that are a part of the hardcore crowd. The casual crowd has no idea who we are. All they do is they may get up to go to work, hang out with their girlfriend, mash their buttons. They probably have no idea who a main man Swee. They don't know who the fuck Knee. They don't know who Arslan Ash is. They don't know anything. They just know to mash their buttons, get offline, and then go about their life. That is the crowd that Namco has shifted toward. And those are the people that buy your DLC. Those are the people that will buy anything. So Namco is making money off Tekken 8. And it comes back around to where I say that this game is not going to change. It's not going to get better. Not in any meaningful capacity. It just is not. And you guys have to come to that reality and accept that. Never have I ever played a Tekken in my life, in the 30 years I've played and invested into this franchise, where I've ever complained about the game itself. I've always bitched and complained, even people who knew me back in my tournament days, you know, even when I had Lei Wulong, I would bitch and complain about hop kicks. I would, with good reason, by the way, I would complain about the character. You know, characters that were really bullshit, like Tekken 4 Nina, Tekken 4 Jin, Marduk, you know, fucking Tekken 5.0 Brian, 5.0 Nina, Tekken 6 Lars and Bob, like the characters. But it wasn't so much, hardly at all, I complain about the game itself. Tekken 8 is the only Tekken where I really hate the mechanics of Tekken 8. I can handle bullshit characters. I've been dealing with them my entire fighting game life. Okay? But it's another thing to deal with piss poor game mechanics where you have a game, according to these fucking developers from the very beginning, where they say that Tekken 8 is rooted in aggression. Okay. So how is it that if the game is rooted in aggression, then why is it that you, the developers, are rewarding the losing player by giving them something that can completely screw over the winning player in the form of Hail Mary rage arts, which has zero counterplay outside of you just putting your controller down, putting your hands up, and just seeing if your opponent does it or not. There's nothing else you can do about it. There's no real, that's, if you call that counterplay, no, that's bullshit. And what do the devs continue to do? They continue to address the punishment of it. When highly intelligent people like myself that understand game design, we know it had nothing to do with the punishment. It has everything to do with the startup. There's zero you can do as the offensive player if that opponent activates that move. You are done. You be prepared to watch that cutscene. There's nothing you could do. You're not sidestepping it. You're not poking it. You're not grabbing it. You're not low striking it. You're not armor through it. There is fuck all you could do about that move. Nothing. So in a game that was designed on the premise of aggression, I find it interesting the developers saw fit to implement mechanics gifted to the losing player that is stopping all aggression, unless you want to risk someone just doing it. And then you have heat, something that is, I look at it as like a poor man's, it's like a shit version of Street Fighter 6 drive gauge. That's kind of how I look at it. Tekken 8 did not need either of these mechanics. None. Neither. So you have the rage drive, which I affectionately call the win button, where with the press of a button, you can have access to a move that is 13 frames for some characters that will do 40 to 50, however much fucking damage it does, 40 to 50 damage to you, to your opponent at the press of a fucking button. It's circumstantially steppable, because there's many times where I have tried to sidestep that bullshit and I know it's fucking coming and I still get clipped by it. So there's that. Then even if the move is blocked, you're like minus -1,000,000 on block. So now you've basically gone to round 2 of the coin flip. Then on top of that, if the win button manages to land on you, make contact on you, about 90% of them causes stage interactables to activate, whether it's to knock you up against the wall for a wall splat for an additional combo, or to knock you through a balcony or something of that nature. So not only are you gifting players I don't know how fast the fastest rage drive is, but I think I've seen one at 13 frames and higher. So you're giving people a very quick move that can come out of at the same speed as a fucking mid poke, which is fucking insane, that interacts with the stage, causes potentially a wall splat for more damage, is like is safe on block, right? It actually makes you as the opponent having to deal with another guess because you're like, it's like a minus a fucking million on block if you defend against it. Like, what are you doing? So while I understand that people will bitch and complain about different characters being top tier, believe me, I've been there, I've done that. I fought against some of the worst and most egregious characters you can conceivably think of. I've survived the era of the Jin Kazama just frame laser scraper, okay? I've been through some shit in this franchise. So dealing with bullshit characters, like I said, it's like, okay, it's frustrating, but it can become manageable. But when you add that with the rage art, when you add that with these win buttons, the rage drives, which some of them actually hit you at the legs, which is basically unreactable. It's basically if you happen to be taking a knee, it just so happens if you are taking a knee for first responders, basically crouching down, you're gonna get hit. It's a free hit, basically. So this is where, you know, when I look at all of this drama surrounding Armor King, I laugh because how could a character that is basically the derivative of King, a character we already have in Tekken 8, who is already bullshit. I've spoken about King so many times till my fucking eyes will pop out. That character is that is a carry character if I've ever. That character is a carry character if I've ever seen one. King, yes, Tekken 8 King. 10 frame giant swing. I've always hated that. You have to be completely on guard at all times against that character. Dealing with the grabs and then dealing with an insane amount of offense. Like, why the fuck does King have such world-class offense plus counter hit utility plus the fucking wrestling grabs that he has? So am I surprised that Armor King is probably going to be fucking even more busted? No. I've expected this. It's just that some of you are surprised by this. I'm fucking not. In fact, I would have been surprised if he wasn't bullshit. All you got to do is just go right on through Twitter. You know what? Fuck it. Here we go. Let's take a look. Let's have some fun, right? I already got this queued up. Who is this guy? Tekken Master. Let's look at this. 442. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Uh-huh. Just run it. Run it. Whore it out. Just run it. Let's go on down the list, shall we? Let's see what people are saying. Okay, not this guy. Oh, he's talking about Ninja Gaiden 4. Okay. One of insert character main weakness in previous games was a lack of insert legacy character Tekken weakness. Now character got a Tekken 8 buff that fixes. Yeah, definitely. One of his main weaknesses in previous games was a lack of 13 to 14 frame while standing punish. Now he got a strong 13 frame while standing punish and full crouch throw at 12 fucking frames. I am not at all surprised by any of this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not. I am fucking not. I remember back in Tekken 7, the DLC privilege was having every punishment for every frame. Now DLC privilege seems to mean having while standing punishment with heat engager, which for me is pretty toxic. Lows shouldn't be but see, this is, bless this guy, whoever this guy is. He just doesn't understand, man. He doesn't understand. I'm pretty sure he's great at pressing buttons, but he doesn't understand the business of this game. He doesn't understand He's a pro player. He's very good at pressing buttons. He's very good at playing the game, but he doesn't understand the game of business that's going on. These characters, as I said, are being designed with the intent to give casual players the feeling of being strong, so that it can generate more downloadable content sales. Because Namco, the devs, recognize that players typically do not want difficult fighting games, especially in America. This is part of the reason why games like Virtua Fighter, while being a superior fighting game, it's never really gained that much popularity because the game required too much skill, and it did not rely on so much showy gimmicks that Tekken 8 does. The Tekken franchise. So let's go on down. And no disrespect to this guy either, by the way. And so yeah, this guy Blackheart, shout outs to Blackheart. I've interacted with him on Mike Hollow stream. Engaging from while standing is a 13. So basically you have a 13 frame while standing punish that is a heat engager. Make that make sense. Okay, let's continue going down. So much personality. It's shit like this that makes me love this game more and more and more. I don't know if he's being sarcastic. Maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. Yep. And this guy, he tweeted too hard. Yep. And you got this guy, Mr. Murray. And, you know, this guy, I don't even have words for this guy. And then you got this guy. It's okay for some characters to not have the same tools as everyone else. Yep. Yeah, buddy. And let's keep on going down, folks. Let's see. Oh, Anakin. Shout outs to him. I'm pretty sure somebody will pick him up. Let me see. Why does this nigga have a waifu? Let's see. Exactly. Why does he have a waifu? Why does Hwoarang have a waifu? Why does King, especially, why does he? I always assume, you know, I would even say, why does Raven have one? Like, that is 100% an identifiable thing or aspect or technique from Mishima's. But you give characters like Hwoarang, who is already a button mash, brain rot character, and he even has an evasive base. I think it's like back 1 or back 2, one of those, where while it is punishable, but you give a character that has basically an infinite V-ism trait, which I'm just calling out from Street Fighter, the old Street Fighter Alpha series, Street Fighter Alpha 3, I think that where it was, where basically V-ism is like a custom combo where basically Hwoarang can just do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and you have to suffer through it. And then he has an evasive move where if you try to take your attack, your opportunity, he can do this little spin-off punch. It's all bullshit. It's a fucking cancer character. And then you got that. Let's see. What else? What else we got? This guy says, characters that have little to no flaws are boring, by the way. Flaws and weaknesses make characters cool and interesting. Yep. Let's continue on down. What else are they saying about good old Tekken? Good old Taken? Is this another bug or skill issue? Please be a skill issue. What's this? What's going on here? Is that what's going on here? Oh, wait, what? What happened here? Oh, I see. It's probably a bug. It's Brian, so it's good. Intended to happen, it definitely. What else we got here? So Mr. Fitty X, so this is a major creator here. If the new patch reverts the inputs for King 2, this is a huge change. Means they listened to the character specialists who have been pretty vocal about overpatch. I just don't expect anything meaningful to really happen to this game, but you know, people can have hope. Oh god damn, look at Battlefield. Woo, damn. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? Okay, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Oh, wow. That's something. Don't key charge me. Da, da, da. So I think, yeah, let's just get back to the whole point. I think I showed everything I needed to show on that. Look, as I said, this game, Tekken 8, it's in the position that the devs wanted. Okay, they wanted this game to appeal to everybody, not everybody, to casuals, and it's doing that. And I understand some people will say, well, look at the Steam charts. Look at the Steam charts. Fuck the Steam charts. The Steam charts do not tell everything. It doesn't tell you everything. Like I said, many of these casuals that play this game, they don't know really anything about the Tekken community. They buy their DLC. They buy the little recycled costumes and all other bullshit. They are essentially whales for Namco. That's basically what it is. But, you know, it's just, things are just, unfortunately, I will be very surprised if something meaningful happens. But you have to understand something. The core mechanics of this game, which is rooted in the heat and the rage system, is not going to be drastically changed. See, this is why I say you could alter the characters to a degree. You can. But the problem, that's not the full problem. The problem is the rage system. The problem is tracking grabs. The problem is characters having these wild, outrageous properties. Looking at Nina and other characters, where now not only are you dealing with a bullshit, brain rot, overpowered character, but now once that particular character activates heat, now they're even more insufferable. And then techniques that are, by definition and virtue, legacy techniques, which, you know, you can say like Yoshimitsu's low unblockable slash, but because of how Tekken 8 is, it makes that legacy move even more insufferable, to where I would much rather see that move either taken away, which will never happen, or I would just prefer it just to knock you down, give you some Oki, or just a free hit on the ground. That's it. But that's not going to happen. The Namco devs are just going to give these characters that are 1 billion% in need of nerfs a slap on the wrist. So what do? Do I keep playing the game? Do I give up on the game? Well, since I'm a content creator and I kind of almost, I wouldn't even say branded it, but you know, I do these little suffering streams. And I do mean that when I play this game, it is a form of suffering. And the way my audience could make me feel better about my suffering is when they subscribe and join the channel as a member, which you can do in this very video as I am now 33 minutes in. So please give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and join the channel. Help out a very small, struggling content creator who is doing all of this by himself. No team. I'm the lighting guy. I'm the talent. I'm the editor. I am everything. But anyway, that's my little shameless plug. But anyway, let's move on. Yeah, so I play this game and use it as a tool, because I understand that many people like to watch a car crash. You ever pass by a car crash on the highway and everybody's like stopping and staring and looking like this, right? That's what Tekken 8 is. People like to see other people get frustrated in this game. They want to see somebody either get promoted or demoted and get frustrated and pissed off. That's why people really watch this game. I mean, you may have a smaller percentage of people that actually want to learn their character, but the majority of people, they look at watching other people play this game as a form of entertainment. So on my stream, my suffering stream, I provide said entertainment and just hope that those that do subscribe to me for that wonky ass game, that they may actually support my channel when I do other content that is actually more fun, that is actually a better fucking game and an experience. Because I've fully embraced what Tekken 8 has become. And what it was always, a party game that is wrapped up in the illusion of it being a serious competitive game. Anyway, that's all I got to say for right now. I'm going to go and make a starter guide on Kazuya pretty soon, so join the channel, subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a lot more to say, especially when Armor King is officially out, and also probably after this stupid Mary Zoo. Nobody gives a fuck about this character. She looks like a character, doesn't even look like a real fighting game character. It's just another busted character for what I can see. Anyway, man, take care, guys. I'll be in the next one.